Welcome now to filmmaker Ami Horowitz. Ami, you've just put out a fascinating new video contrasting the responses of lefties in Venice Beach versus those in South Central, which is a typically black working class neighbourhood, about Juneteenth, which is June 19th, which happens to be my birthday, and I didn't know about Juneteenth myself, it has to be said. I might not be the only one, which we'll get to in a minute. But it's a federal holiday that was created in 2021 to commemorate the ending of US slavery. Let's have a look.
I'm here in Venice Beach to ask leftists, is it because of racism that white people didn't really know what Juneteenth was several years ago?
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
It is a function of white privilege. You don't have to know about June 19th if you haven't been oppressed as a white person for generations.
Now here in Crenshaw to ask the folks around here what they think and know about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is coming up in a couple. Juneteenth. Do you know what that is?
No.
Never heard of it?
Not until you just.
Not just. Have you ever heard of Juneteenth?
No.
Never did? So you don't. So obviously you don't celebrate it. All right. Thank you very much.
You okay?
Do you know what Juneteenth is?
Yeah.
Is it something you heard of 5 years ago or celebrated 5 years ago?
No.
Do you know what Juneteenth is?
No.
Never heard of it?
No.
Great work, Ami, but it would seem there's all these black people walking around just not aware that they're racist towards themselves.
Yeah, it's amazing. By the way, just on June 19th, I went to my coffee shop and they had June 19th flags up. Now, okay, it's fine if you want to celebrate that, but I specifically remember that this particular coffee shop didn't have the American flag up on July 4th. So I found it odd they had the Juneteenth flag up then. Okay, but like what I love in this video, it just lays bare the reality of the bigotry of the left when it comes to black people. It's like almost like white savior complex. Like, look, we're going to tell you what to think, right? We're going to say to other people that you have to celebrate this. If you don't, you're racist, because that's what all black people think. That's their perspective. I mean, at one point, I was asked this one girl, and she was talking about, of course, how there is incredible amount of white supremacy in our education system. I said, well, you're taught about slavery. And she said, well, no, we're taught slavery ended. This is how bad it is on the left, right? This is how out of touch with reality they are. But when I went to South Central and I talked to black people, there wasn't a single black person I spoke to who said it's racist if you don't know what June 19th is, or Juneteenth is. Not a single person said that. They don't believe that. And the truth is, the majority of black people didn't know what it was until it became the consciousness of most Americans. It became a federal holiday a couple of years ago. But of course, the white leftists don't see it that way. They have to impute racism in everything, which of course, when you call everything racist, that makes nothing racist.
And of course, the people you were talking to in South Central are actually getting on with their lives, right? Whereas, these white people are just beating themselves up all the time. And that's why they are so weak. It's almost a form of internalised racism themselves about how bad they are. I mean, you were taught that slavery ended. What do you want it to still be going on?
No, it's a great point. It's a lot of self-hatred, frankly. It is a lot of that. It's a lot of internalization. It's a great point. And frankly, I don't know a single black person who, when I talk to, who say I walk around thinking about racism all day long, right? I'm obsessed with it. I can't succeed because of it. I don't know a single black person. I know a lot of black people who think that way. And frankly, even the people that I interview on the streets for my videos, I've interviewed hundreds, if not thousands of them. I came across very few, if any, people who think that way. Yet the problem is that the white left looks at the world that way and preaches to black people that that's what's going on. And that's the real racism, this bigotry, not just of low expectations, which it's that as well, but the bigotry of, hey, I know better than you what you should be worried about. I know about systematic racism and you should be obsessed with it. That's what's so disturbing about the white left when it comes to race.
Correct. Now, a CBS News poll last week found that 62% of registered voters said they would support a government plan that would deport all migrants living in the US illegally. But the White House just won't acknowledge these concerns, and it's certain that their plan to allow illegal spouses to be granted amnesty is actually what American people want.
CBS News polling recently found that 62% of Americans are in favor of a national program to deport all undocumented immigrants.
I'd love to sit down with your polling team and show them how they've gotten this wrong.
The steps I'm taking today are overwhelmingly supported by the American people, no matter what the other team says.
They can remain together as a whole family here in this country as a result of this executive order. Those are the things that matter most.
I mean, who would have thought that people wanted illegals out of the US?
I know, it's crazy. It's nuts. Look, the truth is, the polls show the majority of Hispanic people want illegals deported en masse from our country, not just Americans overall. Look, the Biden administration is so bad at this, right? This whole thing now with the amnesty for spouses. Look, one can argue that there is some merit to it or there isn't merit. Like, I can see the argument for it, but why are you doing this now? There's an election coming up where illegal immigration is either the #1 or #2 issue in the country. Why are you making this an issue now? Why not wait until after the election? But they're so bad because they have to give in to their, that's what he's done. Look, if you look at what his policies have been for the last couple of years, in fact, most administration, it's his caving in to the left, thinking that they will not eat him last. They will eat him. They are eating him. He did this with Israel. He caved into the left in Israel, and guess what? He still lost the left anyways. The problem is that he doesn't understand. He does not have the understanding of what Americans want. You want these 60-40. That's what you, in politics, you go for these 60-40 issues. This is a 60-40 issue against him. I mean, and when, look, what he tried to do is say, he tries to, and nobody believes this, but he tries to push off the failure of immigration to Republicans, right? He says, well, look, I try to make a deal with you guys, and you said no. Yeah, you need a deal 3 years later after tens of million people have already come through. You don't think that the entire population knows you're just doing this for election politics?
Lovely times for Biden, eh? Ami Horowitz, thanks for your time. Well, only in America after the break, but just quickly, if I were going to rob someone, I probably wouldn't go for a member of the Secret Service, but apparently in Biden's America, they're the perfect target.
A member of the Secret Service was robbed at gunpoint over the weekend during President Biden's trip to California. Biden was in Los Angeles for a fundraiser, but at the time of the incident, he was already back at his hotel. Police say the agent was confronted in Tustin, California, and had a bag stolen. The Secret Service says the agent fired his own gun during the incident. Police are still looking for a suspect.
Yes, a member of Biden's Secret Service was robbed. His bag was stolen, and if that wasn't bad enough, the agent shot at him and the bloke got away. They still haven't found him. I mean, if a Secret Service agent can't even defend his own bag, how the hell's he meant to defend a bumbling Biden?